Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Former WIPL directors charged with breaches of the Cybercrimes Act. Two Kingston businessmen have been charged with breaches of the Cybercrimes Act following an interview in the presence of their lawyer on Thursday, February 10. They are 57-year-old Courtney Wilkinson and 59-year-old John Levy, former directors of Regional Energy Company West Indies Petroleum Limited, WIPL. They are charged with unauthorized access to computer program or data, conspiracy to gain unauthorized access, conspiracy to access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of offense, conspiracy to unauthorized modification of computer program or data. It is alleged that on February 16, 2021, the businessmen gained unauthorized access to the emails of the company's CEO and 3 other senior WIPL staff members. It is also alleged that the men were assisted by a 36-year-old IT specialist, Winston Henry, who was charged for similar offenses on Monday, February 7, 2022. They were all granted bail in the sum of $400,000 and are set to appear in the corporate area parish court on March 23, 2022. New COVID curfew hours announced. There has been a further relaxation of the COVID-19 measures that are in place to limit the spread of the coronavirus on the island, with the night curfew now set to run from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. The new curfew hours come into effect Friday, February 11, 2022. The previous curfew ran from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement Thursday as he addressed the first sitting of the 2022-2023 parliamentary year. The other major change involves worship service. Whereas churches were previously allowed a maximum of 100 worshippers, that number will be determined by the size of the worship hall divided by 36 square feet. Holness said all other measures will remain in place until February 24. He noted that indicators were all moving in the right direction, with falling infections as well as falling positivity and denial rates. The Prime Minister also signaled that the measures under the Disaster Risk Management Act will soon come to an end and that the measures could be further relaxed soon. However, he said he was mindful of Jamaica's low vaccination rate, which is around 23% of the population fully vaccinated, and possibly for new variants to emerge. TikTok clampdown. The rapid increase in the number of TikTok videos featuring Jamaican children has drawn the attention of the children's advocate, Diana Gordon Harrison, who says her office will be moving to clamp down on parents and children involved in what is most times slack and improper content. Gordon Harrison says her office has an increase in the number of videos and will be taking steps to first identify the children and then conduct social inquiries into their home situation to determine what is fueling the increase in age-inappropriate content and when there is need for criminal prosecution. I believe there has been a proliferation of those videos in recent times, but I believe that, first of all, we need to identify where these children are, Gordon Harrison told a meeting of over 100 viewers following yesterday's lunchtime series, Human Trafficking of Children, which had Gordon Harrison as its guest and the Late Magistrate Association of Jamaica as host. She was responding to a question from a guest who wanted to know how parents can deal with TikTok's videos featuring toddlers demonstrating intimacy, such as passionate kissing. It is very critical because what it tells us is that perhaps there is superficial issue at home. Where are these children seeing these things, firstly, and secondly, why are they recording themselves, and thirdly, what are the interventions that are taking place within the space at home, she asked. Gordon Harrison said that a care and protection policy, including interviews with the parent, will decide whether there is need for an inquiry. Once that is done, there is a conversation that has to take place with the parents, and usually it is that conversation which leads to more information on things that are really needed to be done and that are desirable to ensure that the children are being cared for, she said. It can end up before the court for what we call a care and prevention inquiry, which would involve a home assessment interview and interviews to determine the type of parenting, because for those matters, when you have especially children involved, those are criminal matters. Those are matters where there is a supervision issue that needs to be checked, verified, and possibly reviewed, she added. Gordon Harrison also confronted with a question as to whether there is an organ harvesting in Jamaica, which could also include children. She said that there was no evidence of that type of behavior, but there exists a possibility. So far, we have not identified any homegrown cases of organ harvesting. It is very possible, however, because we do have Jamaicans who traffic outside Jamaica and end up in all sorts of countries, and once they get to the location, depending on the demand in the market, they could in fact find themselves in that situation. But we have no identifiable case that we have seen organ harvesting manifested in Jamaica at this time, she explained. TikTok has developed a bad reputation for hosting dangerous viral challenges on its app, which are said to, at their worst, lead to serious inquiry or death. Its online opponent says that, beneath the surface, the app also hosts videos promoting bullying, suicide, and sexual exploitation of minors, which both features minors and are watched by them. During her presentation, the children's advocate dealt with a number of issues confronting her office in terms of child trafficking. Child trafficking can be defined as any person under 18 who is illegally recruited, transported, transferred, harbored, or received by threat, forced, and or induced in fear for the purpose of exploitation, either within or outside of a country. Meanwhile, Betty Ann Blaine, founder of non-governmental organization Hear the Children's Cry, described laws created to protect children as toothless and called for the relevant agency to better enforce these legislations. We have a child pornography law, and every couple weeks I get videos that include child porn, and some of them go viral, and yet we have the legislation that says it is a crime, Betty Ann stated. She added, the question you have to ask is, if we are investigating these crimes, how is it that people believe they can film this, circulate it, and nothing happens to them? What is the point of having these laws that look good on paper, but we're not enforcing them? We have some toothless laws. 29-year-old security guard suspected of drowning in pool. Detectives assigned to the St. Andrew Central Police Division are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a man whose body was found floating in a pool in Knoxford Boulevard, Kingston 5 on Thursday. Dead is 29-year-old Ramon Henry, a security guard of Gilbert Close, Spanish Town in St. Catherine. Reports from the New Kingston Police are that about 5 a.m., guests stumbled upon the body and alerted them. On the arrival of the police, the body was seen afloat in the water. It was fished from the water and removed to the morgue for post-mortem. Investigations into the incident continue. Culture solid as a rock. Vernon Culture Sewell left his home in Sancle Bay Beach near the Sansan Old Road in good condition on January 11 to tend to his nearby farm, but it was a nightmare when he returned home. Sewell had to force his way into his house as the door was partially blocked. When he finally entered, he found that a large boulder had crashed through the wall of his room. I had to walk around as I couldn't come in, jump over as I couldn't come through the door. The police came and said I'm not to move anything, so as the place stays since then. My radio mash up, my bed mash up, my glass, banana, and cane them too, Sewell told reporters when they visited his home days after the incident. The large rock was suspected to have rolled into the house from a construction site for the Southern Coast Highway being built from Old Harbour View, St. Andrew to Port Antonio, Portland. At that time, a livid Sewell blasted the contractor doing the road work and charged that they were ignoring him. The people them working on the road make the stone roll down, break the wall and come in here in my bedroom, and they are not doing nothing. This happened Tuesday, January 11, and today is Sunday, January 16, and they are not doing anything. I reported it to the police station, and we talked to the person who said him is the manager on the road. Him asked me if me seen tractor push the stone over there, but I tell him that I could not know because I went to the bush and see the stone coming at my house here when I come back. I left my house with everything nice after 8 o'clock and come back after 6 o'clock and see this stone here added Swell. When reporters checked with communications manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw, he said, The situation is that the consultants have received a report from the contractor. The report is essence suggested that the contractor cannot see that the rock fell into the house in connection with the work it was doing at the time. The consultants have undertaken to carry out their investigations into the incident. In order to have a firm view on the matter, we await those investigations. But on Tuesday, when reporters returned to the area, it was a beaming Sewell who greeted reporters. Them repaired the place on the 23rd of January after the incident happened on January 11. I feel good to know that it was speedy thing. When it happened, them never did I take the blame, but me did know at them a work on the road. But them did come and look and make everything alright. I'm glad for that, as everything alright now, said a smiling Swell. They also fixed the bed, and I have a little material left, and I need some cement to fix them out here, but them fix up this side. Inside and outside fix up good. I can go back to sleep in my bed now and stop using the hammock. All I am telling them, no make no more stone roll down here, added Swell. He pointed out that a representative from the company, which doing the work on the road, visited the house and examined the damage before making arrangements for the repairs. KSAMC draws brakes. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, has put a halt on approving the building and planning application for the Ascent at Oxford Road, New Kingston, which was proposed to be the tallest building in the country if constructed. According to Councillor Carrie Douglas, Jamaica Labour Party, Trafalgar Division, who is Deputy Chair of the KSAMC's Building and Town Planning Committee, the disapproval was most linked to the Town and Country Planning Provisional Development Order 2017, along with several of its elements. There is time for a review now for it to be amended, upgraded, and republished as the new development order. The government has to do that quickly because there is just too much uncertainty, and I understand why the residents would be so frustrated with the process, Douglas reported after a KSAMC meeting for the application they sent on Wednesday. Douglas, who is also a land economist, valued surveyor, and real estate dealer, pointed to one element of the order, which is the height of the buildings in the Oxford Road zone. I was told that currently the allowable height is 12 stories, yet still National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA, who has the authority to give approval, has gone and given approval to a 26-story building. I was also told that if the building height is above 12 stories, is proposed in the new development order, which has not yet even been confirmed, argued Douglas. The developers of the 26-story skyscraper, Stratosphere Development Limited, were given approval by NEPA regarding technical requirements for construction phases. The permit had allowed the developers to build 28 residential units, 11 office levels, and 305 parking spaces. Further, Douglas had made a call to the Town and Country Planning Authority to move swiftly to have the new order confirmed by July. Failing to do so, I am likely to support the elements of a proposed memorandum that has been made by concerned and frustrated residents and prominent public personalities. What they are doing is asking the government to consider a moratorium on high-rise buildings above 3 stories and high-density level until the authorities led by central government has concluded an audit and interrogation of the building and planning system, as was recently asked and announced by Mayor Williams, she said. I am likely to support it as long as we are satisfied that all the external agencies have fulfilled their roles and as long as the infrastructure is able to manage the type of the development that is coming there and the planning characteristics are all observed, she added. At the same time, Douglas stressed that the absence of a few representatives from critical external agencies, such as National Water Commission (NWC) for the meeting, also contributed to the decision. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.